All right. After leaving the cemetery where Grandma, Aunt Ann, Martin, Uncle Henry, and Aunt Ann, who else? I'm missing someone. Anyhow, we left the cemetery. Now I'm going to do one more tour through house up there. It needs some work. There's a fixer-upper. One more tour through downtown Ramey. Okay. Let me get this right this time. Jakey George. Is that Jakey George's service garage? Janine, you're going to have to clarify that one. Anyhow, just turn down Main Street. Here we go. Main Street, Ramey, PA. It hasn't changed a lot over the years, but here's a couple churches right downtown. Grace Reformed Baptist Church, Ramey United Methodist Parsonage, Ramey Town Hall. Never forget the old Ramey Town Hall. And up here on the hill was where Grandpa Joe Colton had a trailer. Okay, I'm going to show you the post office. Then we'll get back to that story, but that's not it. That's Jessica's tile shop. Here's the Ramey post office. If you had to drop a letter, that's where it went, or get some stamps or something. But we all made a visit or two there. But yeah, Joe Colton, he had a trailer up here. He's a little work too. Beer and wine. That was a fine bar at one time. We went in there and had a cocktail or two. Yeah, he lived in the trailer up here. Lonely guy. Grandma booted him out for not being a good family guy. I think he was drinking a little too much, and Grandma wouldn't put up with that for sure. So he lived. That might be the trailer, but I don't think so. But it was like that. But I remember Mom would take us up to go visit, and it was a little eerie, but it was. He was really nice. He was always kind of nice to us. He was happy to see us, happy to have some company, and he would give us coins, old coins. I remember. I don't know where he got them, but somehow they ended up in a Palters Park, Ramey Fire, make a left. But we're going to go straight and go past Grandma's one more time. But they would end up in a World Book Encyclopedia bank. Now, whether he gave us the bank, I don't know, but that's just what I can remember. Old Kennedy halves and old quarters, old coins. Of course, we don't have them anymore, but I wish we did. God, wasn't there like a candy store like right here? Janine, clarify again. Zolax. Yeah, there. Maybe that was Zolax. Candy store. We would take trips down there and get some candy. Martin always needed a little more sugar. Not that we didn't, but yeah, we made several trips to the candy store over the years. Okay, so now we're going to turn left onto Williams Street here, and this is it. There's the railroad tracks, used to be there. So I just remember a few things, a lot of things, but I remember those tracks are right there, and there's the house, 30 feet. But that room, that window, top left, was a bedroom with the scary doll, I think. And we would sleep there, and the train would come from behind where I'm sitting right now, and the light from the train would shine through that window, light up that house, and the whole house would rumble, and oh God, it was scary at night. And you definitely remember it, but I remember everybody sitting on that porch. Uncle Chris, Aunt Kay, Aunt Annie, Uncle Henry smoking their cigarettes, and Grandma would say, "You're smoking so much." They throw their butts on the lawn. "It looks like it's been snowing out here." And Mom would be out there, and Dad, and all the kids, everybody. There's the barn. Grandma would always be cooking or something. Or yeah, you go around back, and that's where the the basement was with the coal furnace. God, was that a cool room? And she'd be down, get down there and shovel some coal into that furnace to heat the house. That was just a neat place to hang out. I wish I could go down there right now and just see it again. It looked like they carved it out themselves, actually. There's the train tracks where we took many a hike down there. Many, many times. See how far we can go. And there was if you went up the hill, I think there was a place, a farm, a dairy farm where you could maybe get some milk or something. I might be getting my stories mixed up, but I kind of remember that. And I remember walking down here, down to Palters Park, little stream. You guys remember the stream? And we go down to Palters Park, just killing time. Oh, always something to do. But Eugene and I would come out for a couple weeks during the summer, and I think Lauren Kerr would do the same, different weeks. But I remember, tooling around with Uncle Henry, and we'd go out collecting with him. He'd have his pickup truck, his old Ford pickup truck, and he'd throw Eugene and I in there with him, and we'd drive around and stop at these kind of seedy establishments out in the woods, definitely a bar or something like that. And he would be, "Young's kids, wait in the car, don't move, I'll be right back." And he'd go in there, and he'd be in there for more than a moment, but it was actually, we'd sit there probably kind of scared to move because he was a pretty scary guy, but he was a nice guy too. And then he'd come out, and he'd I'm thinking he was collecting some bets or something. There was probably some bookie stuff going on, or maybe it was alcohol sales. I don't know. But then we would, hey, look, did you see that? There was pickleball courts at Palters Park, tennis courts. So get your pickleball in quick. But then Grandma would take us to Phillipsburg to drop Uncle Henry off at the bus station, where he would travel back to New York. And he always had a white starch pressed shirt. Oh God, it was tight. Grandma would starch those collars, and he was looking good. And had a suit. He was going to New York. We dropped him off at 4 o'clock in the morning in Phillipsburg so we could get the bus back to New York City with whatever he was doing out here. He was taken back there. So that was a fun story. I wish we knew the rest of that story. But we have a hunch. Anyhow, so that's Ramey. Love it. Love coming through here every once in a while. And I'm now heading to Prince Gallatin State Park, where I might spend the night. It's a state park out here, which takes me back by, I think, Janine's old place in Janesville. Look, RV for sale. Coach Freelander. Check that out. But, and then by Uncle Gene Colton's one more time. Do I have the balls to stop in and tell him the way I really feel about him and how anyhow, he wasn't a good family guy. Was not a good family man at all. I don't know. We'll see. Anyhow, this is Ken signing off, driving away from Ramey towards Janesville, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.